Hey everybody, it's Kristianna Mrjenovich, your second chance queen, and tonight's episode is the last episode in my 4-part Confidence Crown workshop series where I teach my exclusive SELF method, standing for self-care prioritized, exercise your skills, listen to positivity, and fake it till you make it, and you will. Tonight's episode contains the letter F, fake it till you make it, and you will. I'm super excited for tonight's episode because fake it till you make it and you will has been an essential part of my process for confidence building, but I think is a huge part of most people's process for confidence building or for demonstrating confidence. Fake it till you make it is broken down in a couple different parts. The title was kind of inspired by everyone's favorite pop star, Taylor Swift, in her I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, where she says, "Baby, you gotta fake it till you make it," and I did. So I drew inspiration from that. I knew I wanted F to stand for fake it till you make it, but the "and you will" is a little bit of a nod to everyone's favorite pop star. Fake it till you make it has essentially 2 major meanings for the purpose of the workshop. The most important thing to keep in mind with fake it till you make it is it is never promoting inauthenticity. It is never wanting you to fake it till you make it as something that you're not. The fake it till you make it comes in as kind of the first part of a confidence boost. So everyone has weak moments and moments of doubt or struggle. And fake it till you make it is all about pushing through those feelings where you have those moments of self-doubt. It's cycling back to listening to that positivity and taking a deep breath and just going for it. It's the momentum of the self-care prioritized, exercising your skills to build trust in yourself and by listening to positivity. And it's all of those things building up into a moment where you're ready to perform. You're ready to be confident, whether that's public speaking, whether that's pageantry, whether that's a music recital, whether that's a skill that you want to demonstrate. But it's just preparing yourself for that big debut. If you're in doubt, put a smile on your face, fake it, remind yourself you're strong, you can do this, and that you are a confident queen. So the first part about fake it till you make it is just bringing all of the things together that we've learned in the other 3 components and combining them into whatever the big performance of this skill is. So in pageantry, it's those moments before you hit the stage where you're just going over everything in your head and you feel prepared and maybe you're a little bit nervous, but then when those stage lights hit you, acting like I'm a diva. I know what I'm doing. I'm confident in what I'm doing, and just using those skills to portray the best version of you. So I never want you to fake it till you make it and portray a character that's not you, because no one wants inauthenticity. And especially in pageantry, where if you become a title holder, you've got to maintain that persona for a really long time. So it's not wanting you to be a different version of yourself. It's all about being you and the authentic version of you, just knowing who that is and being confident about that. And even in those weak moments, choosing to use the other components of the method and then putting on that performance, getting to that final stage. It's, if you go to a dance show or a Broadway theater, these performers still get jitters before they go out on stage. And it's learning to be comfortable with those jitters in those moments and then pushing through that barrier and not letting yourself hit that wall and fall on your butt. It's hit that wall and keep that forward momentum until you get to the end of whatever you're doing, and then breathing that sigh of relief and being really proud of what you've accomplished and being proud of your performance and being proud of what you've done. In a couple weeks, I'm going to go attend the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention Charlotte County Walk, and I'm the keynote speaker at that walk. And in those moments before I hit that stage and I give this speech to the audience, I'm going to feel nerves. I'm going to feel jitters. That's normal right before you go on public speaking. And so it's just feeling that, embracing that, and then walking out on that stage and giving that speech like I've done it a million times, even if it's only the first time publicly giving that full story, or if it's my first time doing a public speaking engagement like that. I want that audience to feel like I've given this speech a million times and to feel really comfortable as an audience watching because I'm portraying confidence. And that's the important thing about fake it till you make it. It's just pushing through and giving yourself that boost. If you're not necessarily feeling confident, pretending that you are, and then you will become more comfortable in those moments. One thing I love about giving my confidence crown workshops is I always ask the girls, I say, do you think that I was nervous coming to talk to you today? Do you think I was nervous about standing up here and giving this workshop? And 9 out of 10 of the girls will say no. And I'll say, well, what if I told you that you're wrong? I was nervous. I was just as nervous coming up here as maybe you guys are when you do new things. I was nervous and I don't seem nervous. Do you know why that is? And sometimes they'll say confidence. Sometimes they'll just kind of look around depending on the age group of the girls. But something that I always reiterate to them is right. It's confidence. Because I'm faking it till I make it, which is the last part of the workshop, you guys didn't know that I was nervous. So I was able to push through those nerves and those feelings and give you this workshop, and you think that I know everything because I'm able to act that way. But in reality, it's okay to be nervous. And I show the vulnerability of still being nervous and still having those jitters and still feeling those things so that they know in whatever they're doing, it's okay to feel those things, but you can put on that face and put on that mask and pretend like you are confident, and eventually you won't be pretending. Eventually you're just confident, which I am, but I also still get jitters, and I think that's most people. But it's being able to show that side and relate to them with that vulnerability. And it's a fun little couple minutes where I do that because it's so great to see them say, no, you weren't nervous, to realizing, oh, she was nervous. Okay. And it's okay to be nervous. Oh, that's a relief. And relate it to whatever, if it's a cheer competition or some of them play instruments or whatever I can relate to with the girls, just having that moment of connection with them and then, teaching them to feel those things and move forward. A lot of the times things are a little bit easier by the fact that the girls love Taylor Swift and they've mostly heard I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. And so we talk about how, she was going through really hard times in her life when she was doing some of the Eras tour and how the audience never knew because she was out there putting on that front and performing, and that sometimes we have to do that on a day-to-day basis. So I talk to the older girls a little bit more about mental health and being okay with having moments where you don't feel the best, and that it's okay to have days where you fake it till you make it and you put on that face and you push forward, and also having days where it's okay to let your guard down and show that you're not okay. And so we're able to bring in those mental health conversations with some of the older girls and talk about that component of fake it till you make it. So the first part of fake it till you make it that's the most important to remember is to always be authentic. Never try and fake who you are or what you are. Be authentic, be real, because you really want that to translate in whatever you do. The second part is using that fake it till you make it mentality to put that persona on. If you're having a bad day, being able to kind of push through it and push through that barrier and push forward. A lot of people in jobs, like normal jobs, have to practice fake it till you make it. A lot of people in general, to get through the day, have to fake it till they make it. If you're a teacher, you can't go to school if you're going through a hard time at home, say there's a problem with your marriage or a problem with a family member, or you're struggling with a kid or whatever you may be struggling with. You can't go and take it out on those 4 and 5-year-olds that you teach in kindergarten or preschool or whatever grade level. You can't translate those issues that we have in our personal life to our professional life. So fake it till you make it is not necessarily about being inauthentic. It's about being able to separate things and to perform at different times and being able to put your best face forward when you need to. It's also about portraying confidence, acting confident, and the more you practice something, it becomes muscle memory. So a huge part, and the third component kind of to fake it till you make it, is the more you are in those practice modes where you're acting confident and you're feeling confident, you're going to find it much easier. I've personally experienced a huge difference between my first pageant experience and my second pageant experience. I had so many comments saying, you looked so much more confident on stage the second time. You exuded confidence. You looked calm. You looked collected. You looked focused. You looked all of these things. And there was a lot of practice and exercising my skills and self-care and listening to positivity that went into that. But when it came to that stage time, I literally told myself, fake it till you make it. And there was probably a visible difference between the me that was standing behind that curtain, kind of, ready to go. And then when I walked out on stage and you hit those lights and it's like, boom, I'm on. So it was kind of a culmination of all of the work that you do and getting to that point, and then just repeating the positive things in your head to portray this confident version of yourself and believe I'm the best version of myself that I can be. Nobody knew the struggles that I was going through at International Ms. with my husband and daughter not being there. My husband and daughter were, my daughter was extremely, extremely sick at home, which as a mother was weighing on me because I wasn't there and I wasn't able to be there for her in that time when normally I would be the primary caregiver for her when she's not feeling well. So there was that component to it. It was knowing that I couldn't look out in the audience and see my husband there in support because he had been looking forward to this experience for as long as I had been looking forward to this experience. So it was the disappointment of not having a huge part of my support system there, knowing that my daughter was ill. Friday night, I was in shambles. I was hysterically crying for probably an hour, telling my husband, I couldn't do it. I didn't know how I was going to go out on stage, that I was feeling really down about myself, that, the other women were so beautiful, so talented, and I just didn't feel like I could measure up to that. And having those moments of self-doubt where I was not listening to positivity and the negativity was creeping in. And I went to the wellness workshop for Still She Rose on Saturday morning with Whitley, and she taught us breathing methods and she had us move our bodies and kind of get into this more positive meditative headspace. And it felt like night and day for me. My nervous system calmed down and I thought to myself, okay, you're going to do this so big that your husband can see it through the live stream and you can see it on camera. So my mindset shifted from that negative I can't to that positive I can and I will. And I was like, you're going to see a diva come out. It's just going to happen. We're going to make this happen and I'm going to fake it. And my husband said, fake it till you make it and you will. And I went out on that stage and I gave the best performance that I feel that I could have given at that moment in time. I felt extremely good about the work that I did on that stage. And I was able to place second runner-up for Mrs. USA. So that was a huge deal. And to go from being top 20 at my first pageant in January to second runner-up to Mrs. USA at International Ms., that was a lot of growth, and I had to recognize that. And I do owe that a large part to fake it till you make it and you will, because I practiced the first 3 components of the confidence workshops, and it all boiled down to those moments on stage where I did fake it till you make it, and I didn't let my nerves get the best of me. So it's never about inauthenticity. It is about fighting those nerves and fighting any sort of negativity that you may be feeling in that moment, to put your best foot forward, put your game face on, and to go into it feeling like you can accomplish whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, and being proud enough to walk out of that experience knowing that you did whatever you came to do. That is the 4 components of the SELF method, and the final component being fake it till you make it. And it's the idea that by imitating the confidence and imitating that confidence and the optimism that you need in those moments in which you're competing or performing or whatever it may be, that you can find those qualities and pull them out with time in yourself and get the results long term that you seek. Now, one last thing that I've experienced, especially coming into the pageantry world, was I suffered a lot from imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome was terrible for me at first. So I was seeing these women that I was competing with. Miss Sweden, Victoria, such a sweet woman. I met her at internationals. She's a doctor that speaks like 6 languages. And I remember hearing of her before I met her in person, which she's fabulous. But I remember hearing about her and going, oh my gosh, this is a doctor that speaks 6 languages. How the heck do you compete with that? And then I'm meeting other pageant queens who have competed over and over and over and taken those titles over and over and over again. And I'm like, how do I compete with this woman who has competed over and over and over again and taken those titles home? Mrs. USA, Serena Ritter-Ketty. She is an amazing, amazing woman. She was jet setting all over the US. And I remember thinking when I saw her, oh, wow, she is, a Mrs. USA or an international Ms. She is all over the place. She's doing all these things and she's making it look effortless. And how do I compete with that? And all of the ladies, I mean, really, the International Ms. class of 2024 was outstanding. It was highly competitive, and these women were top tier. I don't think there was a competitor there that wasn't a high caliber woman. And then it clicked for me. In order to be in the room with those women, in order to be at that pageant, you had to be a high caliber woman. You had to be a high competitive woman. You weren't going to be not chasing your dreams and be at that table with those women. It just would not happen. So I knew, and it clicked for me, wow, I have to fight this imposter syndrome because I'm looking at all of these women saying, I don't belong here, when in reality, I fought for that place in that room. And realizing that in yourself and fighting against that imposter syndrome is a huge part of building confidence. Because when I was having those moments leading up to the pageant where I was feeling that imposter syndrome, I was feeling those things, I was feeling insecure about what I brought to the table. It wasn't until finals week when I really had that mindset shift, and I fully believe that everything happens for a reason. And Serena and Jasmine and Shelby are absolutely 3 outstanding queens that earned their crowns this year. And I knew when I walked away from finals week after I had my mindset shift that imposter syndrome almost got me. Imposter syndrome almost took my chance at even placing away because I was letting that insecurity in. So I reset. I did the self-care. I practiced my skills in my room, in the hallways, and backstage. I listened to positivity and told myself the amazing things that I brought to the table. And then I went out on that stage and I faked it until I made it. And I didn't walk away with a crown. That may be true. But I walked away 100% proud of what I accomplished that weekend and everything that I did and my improvement, and more determined to go back and to fight for my year and to fight for my shot at a crown. So fake it till you make it is not always black and white. It's about beating that imposter syndrome. It's about beating those nerves. And it's about being who you are and being the best version of yourself and being confident in that and practicing that confidence, so that the more you practice that confidence, the more you portray that confidence, the more confident you will be and how everything will just click for you. Because now it's finally clicked for me. And now I am confident. I can say that I'm confident. I feel that I'm confident. And I will set out what I put my mind to. And I believe in that. So that is the thing with fake it till you make it. There's several different components. Never be authentic, always be yourself. Putting those moments aside and pushing those boundaries and pushing through that wall instead of letting it push you back, pushing it, using it as momentum to push you forward, and portraying the best version of yourself, even if you have those weak moments, pushing through that, and then fighting imposter syndrome and not letting the negativity creep in and take your opportunities away from you, because that can happen. And the best part about the self method that I've created is that all of those components are interchangeable. They lead into each other, but they also circle back to one another. So self-care prioritized, taking care of yourself should be the first part of confidence building, because you have to have a foundation to build on. Practice exercising your skills. Practice whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, whatever skill you're trying to develop, whether it's an actual skill like pageantry, public speaking, violin, piano, whatever it may be, or whether it's exercising coping skills and exercising using cognitive behavioral therapy to change the way you think about something. However, whatever you're trying to practice. So exercising the skills, listening to positivity, listening to the angel on your shoulder, listening to positivity in your mind, listening and learning how to accept compliments and combine them all together, and then putting it into that final fake it till you make it performance for whatever it is. You can circle back. So you can put on that final performance and fake it till you make it. You don't win the crown. That's okay. Go back. Exercise those skills. Listen to positivity. Keep pushing forward. Use self-care. That cycle can go a million times. Even if you're confident, you can still have moments where you don't feel confident. And those are the important moments where you apply fake it till you make it and you push forward. Don't let them see you sweat. Push forward, keep going, pretend that you are. Don't let them see you hurt. Don't let them see you sweat. Don't let them see you cry. Just keep going. And then behind closed doors, you can circle through those things, practice the self-care, practice positivity, practice exercising your skills, exercise the skills of self-care and listening to positivity. It all connects to each other. You can rearrange the letters, you can circle back to whatever you need to, but those 4 components are crucial to building confidence and maintaining confidence once you are confident. You're always going to need those 4 skills. Those are something that can apply to your life, whether you're a pageant queen or not, whether you're a performer or not. You can just be a mom and need those 4 things. You can apply those 4 things to building your confidence up so that you can speak up for yourself, so that you can have boundaries and protect your boundaries, so that you can feel like the strongest and most confident version of yourself, whoever you are. So this is not just a pageantry-based thing. This is not just for dancers, musicians, people that go out there. It's for you on a daily basis. You in your life, whatever you need to utilize it for, being confident in who you are. Because if you are confident, nobody can pull you down. If you fully believe in yourself, if you fully believe in your skills, you fully believe in who you are and love who you are, they can try to bring you down all they want to, but you aren't going to let it happen. It is those of us like myself that found myself in compromising situations because I didn't have confidence, because I was insecure. I allowed myself to be treated worse than I ever should have, and I should have never tolerated that treatment. And now that I'm confident, I would love to see someone try, because it's not going to work. I've been challenged to this day, to this month, this week. I've had a situation that attempted to challenge my confidence. Did it? No. So practice the skills, build the confidence, and I hope that everybody found something that they can take away in my Confidence Crown Workshop series with the exclusive SELF acronym: self-care prioritized, exercise your skills, listen to positivity, and fake it till you make it, and you will. Until next time, I'm Kristianna Mrjenovich, your second chance queen, and remember, everybody has a second chance. You just have to be brave enough to take it.